Hello, this is Reverend Bill. Tonight is December 18th, 2024. Anyway, tonight, before I forget, if you like this video, like, subscribe, and share. So tonight is going to be a little serious because I was kind of disturbed what I saw today when I went around on YouTube. For those who have been paying attention through my podcasts, you probably know that I recently had an experience with a witch attack. Right now I'm in a lull. I don't expect the witches to give in. They don't. They're relentless because they get an assignment. And if they don't get what they want, then what happens is they get punished. So it's kind of a me versus them thing. I've learned to fight them effectively, and that's why I think that they're gone for now. But they'll be back, I'm sure of it. But anyway, this is kind of the eye of the storm, I think. So, which that's kind of got me back to what I was watching on YouTube. It seems that witchcraft is becoming vogue in Hollywood. And that's kind of disturbing. These people, I guess, are thinking it's really cool and great, and they do not know what they are messing with. Witchcraft is real. 3 years ago, I probably would have been laughing at this. But there are, apart from me, if you look hard enough, there's plenty of evidence that this stuff is real. If you don't believe me, there's a former Satanist who was the right hand of the devil, John Ramirez, who's found Jesus, and he talks all about it. He was actually a paid assassin, where people would go and pay him $25,000 to have someone killed by putting hexes on them, and he was very successful. I don't want to tell his whole story, but he makes a lot of sense. So you listen to him, I'm going to just talk about this because this is a very, very real thing. And these women and men, I guess men too, that are dealing with this, I don't think they know what they're getting into. So I'm going to name a few names as we're going along here that have been. I didn't name all of them. And I want to start off by saying that, this is not firsthand. No one called me up and said, hey, I'm a witch. But most of these, by the way, are them, that they admit to it. They're happy about it. They love the idea that they're into witchcraft. They think it's cool. There are a few rumors, and the ones with maybe once or twice mentioned, I kind of didn't put them on here. The names that I keep coming back and back and back wherever I look, I kind of put them on there. But there's not too many of those. Most of these people have actually confirmed that, yes, I am a practicing witch. So let's just get on a little bit with that. But with me, let me just tell you a little bit about my background in case you didn't look at my other videos, my podcasts. So a few years ago, there was a person that I would have, actually a couple of people, that I would have died for in a heartbeat. It wouldn't even be a thing. I would have given my life up for these people. And they actually were the ones behind the dark forces, behind the attacks. I'm not sure why they chose me. I don't know whether it was because I would tend to think it's not necessarily because of who I am. I think it was maybe because of what I am. Maybe I hit a certain demographic. I mean, I'm not a Satanist, so I don't really know how these people work. I do know they have meetings. I know they're given assignments, and maybe they said maybe they'd say one day, you got to go after a redheaded female virgin, and maybe they said you need to go after an over uh, an obnoxious, over the top, aging Irishman. I don't know, with a big ego. I don't really know why I was chosen, but it was, and they came, they brought the dark forces and they attacked me, and I did not know what was going on, but I figured it out, and it was touch and go for a while. So there's nothing innocent and nice about this at all. But anyway, so the first thing I want to make clear once and for all, and that is that there's no such thing as good magic and bad magic, or good witches or bad witches, or good wizards and bad wizards. I think, I mean, I would have to think that probably the whole thing with the Harry Potter, and to an extent with Wicked and all that stuff, that's probably rooted somewhere. And to an extent, other things. Whenever you see friendly demons, Buffy, Angel, those shows, to me, it's kind of propaganda. These things are not to be laughed at. They're not your friends. There's no Harry Potter. There's just dark, dark, dark black magic. And there's nothing harmless. I'm going to go over a few things that people think are harmless that are not harmless at all. Because the thing is that the devil wants you to think certain things are okay, because they're looking for a way to get in to you, and if they can get you to do something because you think it's fun and innocuous, you might allow them to come in, because the bottom line is, I'm not sure how many of you know this, but the devil and his demons have no power in this world. They have the law that God states is that they're powerless. So they have to go through you to get any power. And that's why it's so important you do not let them in. You do not let them in at any time, because they will use you to do all the things they want to do and are not able to do without you, as a tunnel, as a conductor, however you want to use it, as so yeah, they need you to make these things happen. So anyway, let's start going on. I'm going to start naming these names, and again, I'm only using names that keep on coming back up or have admitted to being a witch, or I see some evidence that's pretty clear. Now, this first one I'm going to bring up may or may not shock you. I don't know. I actually saw some pictures and videos of hers, so I'm not terribly surprised. I've got kind of like a radar now for this kind of stuff after what I went through. So I'm always looking for who's possibly evil. And I saw some things that was pretty disturbing, so I'm not terribly surprised. But Beyonce. Now with Beyonce, apart from the fact that I've seen some videos where she's wearing like the devil's horns and all that kind of stuff, she had a drummer in her backup band. And I guess for whatever reason, the drummer left. I guess they had a bust up, something. And things started happening to the drummer. And the drummer went and tried to get a restraining order against Beyonce, saying that she was using witchcraft to attack her. Now, again, these attacks, the ones that I experienced, were really bad. I don't know what you guys would envision when I talk about witch attacks. But we're not talking about hearing footsteps at night. Um, I'm talking about really bad. I don't know what this Germa went through, but if she went through anything like I've been through, then I pity her, because I'm surprised I got through it. I don't think many people would have been able to get through it. I had the great fortune of being married to a Nigerian woman, and she called home, and I don't know whether she thought I was cracking up or not, but she was just calling to run things by her friends and family about what she's going to do with her crazy husband. And lo and behold, she talked to somebody who asked a couple of questions and said, "Oh, no, he's fine. This is a witch attack. This is a typical witch attack. I know exactly what's going on." And then he was able to help me fight them, teach me how to fight them. Most people don't have those resources. Number 2, J-Lo. Now, her first husband says that she's definitely a witch. She went to, there's a very strong Latino witchcraft or witch belief. It's like Santiago. I don't know, but John Ramirez that I mentioned earlier was part of it. Santiago, or I don't know, but she took her husband there, and I guess he was saying that she was doing things with killing chickens and rubbing the blood on herself, and he saw that. He also said that she's really big into love potions, and so I think that's pretty reliable when her husband talks about her going there and killing chickens and rubbing the blood on herself. So that, yeah, I think that was pretty obvious one to add. This other one is actually a bit of a surprise to me, but she's definitely one because she's admitted it. That's Heather Graham. I never would have thought Heather Graham would have been a witch, but I never would have thought the people attacking me were witches. You can never tell. The funny thing is about witches is you're looking for people walking around with capes and all that stuff. The person that sits next to you in church and sings hymns with you every Sunday could be the witch. That they're very well disguised. And the idea that witches can't read from the Bible and they can't go to church and they run from a crucifix, that's not true. That's not true. They'll hold hands with you and sing Alleluia and kiss Jesus's feet and all that kind of stuff. You can't tell them. If you expect, to hit someone on the head with the Bible, and if they're a witch, they'll melt or something. No. It's very difficult to find who's a witch and who's not a witch. I wish I knew, I tell you, but I don't know. Circumstances, I never would have guessed the people that attacked me were witches, ever. Like I said, I thought these were people I would die for, and they ended up trying to kill me. Anyway, so Heather Graham says that she's a witch, and she even put a lucky spell on Obama to help him win the presidency back in 2008. So, there's that. This other one, I think she admitted it. Vanessa Hudgens. I do think she admitted it. That's what I wrote here. So, yeah, I don't want to say she's admitted it if she didn't, but I said I believe. Probably look that up. But I'm pretty sure she did admit it. That's why she's down there. But in any case, I saw her in a couple of sites, so she's at least rumored. Vanessa Hudgens. Yeah, I think she definitely admitted it, now thinking about it. The next one, Paris Jackson, she actually has her own coven that she leads, and she's very, very open about it. There's also strong rumors that Michael Jackson was into it as well, which would, of course, not surprise me, considering his daughter has her own coven. This, I suppose, is not too terribly shocking. Ariana Grande. She admits it, and she even calls herself the witchiest witch, whatever that is. Um, but yeah, she's some. All of these people, but I mean, I'm thinking of the. Why do they do? It just makes no sense. They don't know what they're getting into. They do not know what they're getting into. Guaranteed, guaranteed. Um, Lana Del Rey admits it and said she put a hex on Donald Trump. Well, apparently, I don't really think it worked, but that's what she says. Now, the last one here that I have is someone, there's a lot of rumors about it. There's a lot of rumors about her. You got to be careful with this. I don't think she's admitted to it. But I will say, if the rumors prove to be true, it would not surprise me at all. And that is Taylor Swift. Now, the gentleman, I think it was John Ramirez that said it, the former Satanist. And by the way, he's not just he was like the right hand of the devil. So he's not one of these kids that sit in his mother's basement and play, Black Sabbath songs backwards or anything. He was a real bad egg, admittedly. And he really did. He really was an assassin for the dark side. And, he was paid very well to kill people through his black magic. But anyway, so getting back to Taylor Swift, he said that he saw her. I tend to believe John Ramirez. But I have no proof. Taylor Swift doesn't call me up and say I'm a witch, so I don't know. But there are strong rumors that she's actually has dabbled in it. So as I mentioned, though, there's many ways that demons and evil spirits can get into our world. And they just look for someone like an Ariana Grande. And I have a hard time believing that Ariana Grande really has any concept of what she's getting herself into. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just the forces I've dealt with, I just can't see, little Ariana Grande being able to deal with them. They're not pretty. All right, let's see what I get. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, again, there's many ways of them to. There's many ways of getting into the house. I mentioned the fact that they came into my house and dropped that little hex token off, which opened the door to all the demons coming in. And wasn't until I found it and I disposed it that I was able to keep them out of the house. And then I had it sealed. And then after I had it sealed, there was still some penetration, but then I had to do some special prayers, which I do all the time now, to keep the witches away. There's special ways of dealing with them. You can't walk over with a crucifix and scare them like you do in the movies. That does not work. But you got to close the gateway. So let me explain some of the different ways that demons can actually enter your house, apart from the fact that, people you trust come in and start sticking things in without you knowing it. Thing is, it was like a little Visine bottle. I mean, I'd never, if I wasn't looking for it, I never, ever would have thought anything of it. It wasn't until I knew there was something in here that wasn't mine. And I don't use Visine. That's when it kind of gave me away. It was on a shelf. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I don't use Visine. That's when I kind of gathered it and I went and we checked it through my resources and they said, yeah, it's enchanted. And we tossed it. So anyway, okay. None of these things are harmless. Ouija boards. Um, Now, I told you, I think I played around with one of these things in the 80s. That was a bad idea. If you saw the movie The Exorcist, it's funny, looking after what I went through, looking back at The Exorcist now, I see it in a different way, um, which I don't want to get into now. But I actually think, I actually think if I walked into the movie The Exorcist right now, it wouldn't faze me. I think I went through worse. But anyway, getting off me. Um, she in the movie, that was one thing that was absolutely true. She brought the spirit, I think it was called Captain Howdy, in. See the friendly name, yeah, through the Ouija board. Uh, very, very common. That's exactly the way they would enter, calling themselves a friendly name to a child, and that's how they would get in. The rest of the movie, I don't know. We could talk about that, I suppose, but very believable that she played with the Ouija board and got a spirit in her, you know, in them. Interesting. Tarot cards. Now, let me explain to you how tarot cards work. Um, Tarot cards, you're dealing with somebody who's a conduit for evil spirits. Now, this is, these are when I talk about tarot card readers, I'm talking about, I don't want to call them legitimate, but the heavy duty ones. I don't know about the ones in flea markets, but I'm talking about the supposed legitimate tarot card readers. Now, this is how it works. You go in and you sit down for a reading. Now, first thing that the tarot card reader does is call in a demon, because demons know your past and they know your present. They do not know your future. Only God knows your future. So there's a little bit of a scam that they run. So she'll tell you something about your past. You'll be like, ooh. And then she'll tell you something about your present. Ooh, wow, this is great. And then she'll tell you that you've got a bad future coming. But she can fix it if you give her, I don't know, whatever, $10,000 for it, let's say. And you'll probably hem and haw and go, well, geez, I don't know, really bad things will happen. Your car's going to break down, and whatever she will say. Your tree's going to fall over and smash your windows. I don't know, whatever. And the person will say, well, I'll think about it. Thanks. And they'll leave. What they don't know is they're not leaving alone. They're leaving with the demon. And then the demon makes all these things come true. So after a couple of weeks, the person goes running back with a check for $10,000, saying, well, could you make me go away? Could you, fix this hex? And she's like, oh, certainly, no problem. Give me the $10,000. And she takes a demon back. That's how it works. Nobody can see the future except for God. So it's basically a scam. It's a con job. Stay away from tarot card readers. Crystals, same thing. Nothing's really harmless here. Palm readings, again, no one knows the future. It's all just a scam. And, you're leaving yourself vulnerable for something to enter you. Just bad news. Stay away from all this stuff. What else we got here? Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you want to stay away from seances. Very, very dangerous. The dead should not be contacted. One of my experiences was, I don't understand everything that happened to me. I can tell you, I'm not John Ramirez. I mean, I know nothing about the evil spirits. So I know how to fight them, which is all I really care about. But if Do I know the difference between necessarily a witch, a demon, and a ghost? No. I mean, I know some, you can touch and some you can't, and some can fly and some can't, and some can talk and some can't. I don't really know the details. To me, they're just all demons. So I don't want to. I don't want to know anything. I just want them out of my house, out of my life. Um, but I will say, I consider these ghosts. They seem to be ghosts because they seem to be people that lived at one time, and I talked to them at great lengths. Um, and they um, they had a bad effect on me. That's all I can say. It's just you're not supposed to talk to the dead. I ended up having to move out of the house because um, now I don't know whether it's because I'm sensitive to ghosts um, or what. I think I am. I don't think the average person would have seen them. My wife didn't see them. Um, but the point I'm trying to get to is people are not supposed to talk to the dead. It's not good for us. They'll they it really screws with your head. As a matter of fact, that couple that did the what are they? Um, from the Conjuring, Lorraine and I'm forgetting their names now, but they were in the Conjuring. They also went to the Amityville Horror. They're the foremost authority of I should know their names of uh, of psychic phenomenon. Um, yeah, I can't think of it. I think her name was Lorraine, and I don't remember his name. But anyway, she was the one that could talk to the dead, um, and he was just basically, I think, kind of the admin of the group. But she was the one that went in and kind of like talked to the dead and figured out what was going on. And there was one interview where they said, "Well, you're so successful. Why don't you do more?" And said, "No, no, 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 no. People that talk to the dead, she needs to rest. If you, when she does a job, she needs a couple of months of rest and relaxation to get her head back." Because talking to the dead really fries your brain. I know what they're talking about. I mean, I when I left that house, I needed some time to get my wits back. Talking to the dead is not something we should do. They don't mean anything by it. Um, it's just not a natural thing, and it takes a toll on people. Um, anyway, astrology, yeah, anything like that, no good comes out of it. They don't know the future. And you start getting inquisitive into things like reading into the future, you're just leaving yourself open. Fortune telling, pretty much the same thing, a scam. Um, only God knows the future. Horoscopes, yeah, stay away. The one thing that I recently discovered was that New Age, I didn't really know much about New Age, but I had no idea that New Age, that a lot of people read, they think the self help books and all that stuff, they're rooted in Satanism. Um, there's a lot of evil that they passed themselves off as being like something different. Like I guess even that book that came out 10 years ago, whatever it was, The Secret. There was some things in there that I guess you're your own boss and all that kind of stuff. It really isn't good. Um, so yeah, it's but New Age actually is tied to the Emerald Tablets, I guess, which is tied to Satanism. So you got to be careful when you start following things. You're following into. Um, let's see. I mentioned cursed objects. Having sex with somebody. Make sure you know who you're having sex with. Evil spirits can pass into you through sex. So if you're with a witch, they can actually pass things to you. Yes. Also, Sometimes you get generational curses that go through a family. One general belief is that if a woman is a witch, then her daughter's born a witch. Um, don't know if she has to act on it, but my understanding is she's born a witch. I suppose that would probably come down to the mother's upbringing. Um, Moments of weakness. Now, here's an interesting one. If you're a strong Christian who believes in God and they can't touch you, they may try other methods. They may attack your job. They may attack your relationship with, your wife or your girlfriend. Um, they may cause you to drink too much. And next thing you know, maybe behind your mortgage, you lost your job, you lost your marriage, you don't see your kids. Now you're susceptible. Now they can get you. They don't necessarily go right for you. They can soften you up by making you in a very bad situation so that you have a moment of weakness. Now they can deal with you. Kind of in the same way, they love broken homes. Um, Parents are alcoholics. The child is all on their own. They're not misunderstood. That it's not unusual for finding a lot of these shooters. Um, Even the one that I guess happened the other day, her manifesto, I read that too. She's really, my father drank too much. My mother was too busy for me, and no one cares about me. And she obviously was calling out for help. There's no one who was interested in her. And what happened? Well, the devil found work for idle hands, and she went off and she shut the school up. We got to be more careful about these kind of things because we leave these people open for the demons to get in there and do things where they wouldn't have been there normally. Let's see what else I got here. I think I'm winding down. Another thing. This actually happened to me too. When the witches couldn't get to me because of all the things I mentioned, they decided to get to me when I was most vulnerable, and that was when I was asleep. And I would be asleep. And of course, when you're asleep, you don't really know what's going on. And next thing you know, I'm having a conversation with them as somebody else. Them, not me. Luckily, my wife was there. She kept waking me up saying, who are you talking to? And I said, you. She's like, no, you're not talking to me. So I managed to pray against that and got rid of it. But they were even trying to slide into my dreams and get me while I was sleeping, which was really weird. One last thing I want to say about this is that demons are tough. Evil's tough to deal with. If you think you can grab a Bible and a crucifix and run at one, and play the Exorcist, the power of the Lord compels you. That's not going to work. There's a lot of I want to say training, but at the very very beginning, I was not very successful because I didn't really know what I was doing. It took me, working with experts in the field teaching me I've got what I got to do, how to do it. I'm not scared of them anymore. But at the beginning, I didn't know what I was looking at. Was I losing my mind? Was this the rapture? I had no clue. And when you're freaked out, it's really hard for you to know how to deal with what's going on. So it took me a while to realize what to do. So my thought is that if this stuff ever happens to you, number one, realize it's probably not you. I'm sure the asylum is full of people that assumed that, people are going to think you're crazy because they don't see it. And, that's the way the society is. You need to believe in yourself and believe in Jesus. I suppose there's a slight chance you're insane, but there's so many witches around now launching attacks. There's an excellent chance there's nothing wrong with you. So I would seek out help, real help, not necessarily doctors. I would seek out people that know how to deal with this stuff and know the signs, like I did, um, and then they can actually help with you. They'll recognize that you just need help. They can teach you. Um, but but yeah, and people are just so quick to blame your mind or your head on something just because they don't understand it. But magic and evil is very, very real. And anyone who doesn't believe it, spend some time on YouTube and listen to rational people. Um, they'll tell you about it. John Ramirez, he'll tell you all about what happened when he was on the bad side. But but yeah, I mean, go. My advice to you is don't take them on. Find somebody to talk to that knows um, what they're doing, and they are out there. They are out there. I know because I worked with them, and they helped me. So anyway, that's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll get something a little more lighthearted next time. Have a good evening, and I will talk to you later. Bye.